People have asked me, Tanya, why did you start Rewire Trauma Therapy? And I think the moment where I knew that this was needed, and the reason why I created it, is because I remember sitting in front of my therapist after I had this huge loss in my life. I had lost, oh my goodness, I lost my community. I lost essentially my religion. I lost everything that I thought family was when I became a single mom. And goodness, after that, I had been assaulted. And so there was all these like losses and traumas one after the other. And sitting in front of my therapist, I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm sitting in front of the most incredible therapist ever. She was so lovely. She was my, my rock. She was my love. Like, I loved my therapist. And at the same time, I also understood, I'm like, how am I going to sleep better at night? Because I know that I'm suffering from symptoms of PTSD. And how am I going to help my digestive system? Because I know that it's so out of whack from the trauma symptoms that I'm suffering from. And how am I going to reconnect with myself? And how am I going to enter a relationship in a healthy way? There were so many questions I had in my mind. And as I sat across from this therapist, I understood she's one human being. It felt like so much to expect this one therapist to guide me and to lead me and to heal me and my nervous system to healing when I had gone through so much trauma and through so much loss. And I do have a nursing background. And so from a nursing perspective, I was actually even curious. I'm like, hey, like, the fact that I'm having difficulty sleeping and difficulty with digestive issues and difficulty trusting others, like all these trauma symptoms, I was like, okay, well, how can I get in touch with professionals that have more of a larger team perspective? Like, how can I get an entire village together to help me and to inform me on how I can heal in all of these ways from all of these different perspectives? And so I think for me, one of the first things that I noticed was I had a best friend who was a drama therapist. And when she told me, hey, I'm a drama therapist, my reaction was, oh, she must be really dramatic. She must be a dramatic therapist, because I didn't know what a drama therapist was. But in the end, she just had all of these ways of presenting situations to me and kind of playing them back in this really silly, funny way that made it a lot easier for me to digest. So I think that was one of the things I was like, oh, cool, there's this thing called drama therapy, and I'm so grateful to be friends with one of them. Like, what is this really about? And then like learning how to express myself through dance. Like, believe me, it was not graceful, but I noticed how these movements were coming out of my body through dance that were really heavy and were really strange and really interesting. And as you move your body through dance, you'll notice, hey, there are these movements coming up that are reminiscent of past experiences that I really do need to let go of. And I think that my personal experiences with so much trauma and so much loss and really going through single motherhood, knowing I had to take care of my kids in the best way I could, with this amount of trauma and loss, pushed me to explore all of these modalities. Like, what is somatic therapy? What is vagal toning? What is, dance and movement therapy? And also dive into, how is my body being affected by trauma? How are these headaches really just headaches that came on, or are they trauma related? And if so, then what can I do about it? So seeing how trauma is so complex and how it causes such a reactive response, like such a intense response that affects so many areas of our lives. I think I came at it from how can I bring a village together of experts? And I wanted to share that village with the people that I cared about, because there were so many friends that I had that were like, yeah, I went through this, and I need more support, but I can't afford it. And just looking, my goodness, like one therapy session could be up to $250, and so just kind of recognizing how inaccessible therapy was, how inaccessible even just somatic therapy and vagal toning exercises and dance therapy and trauma-informed yoga, all of these things just felt so inaccessible because they were so expensive. So that is in a nutshell, or maybe a long nutshell for Instagram, what inspired me to create this type of platform. And I'm excited to be able to share more with you guys in terms of, oh, someone's a drama therapist. I love you. Thank you. It is a special gift. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And I'm excited for you guys to share and to comment. And although I am not a live type of person, I do feel compelled to share a little bit more. And so I'm going to do my best to do that a little bit more often. Wishing you guys a beautiful day. And please remember that you are important and you are loved. And how you feel is important and what you think is important. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Mwah!